Yo, what's up guys? You got Pokemon here. Today I have a video on can I make Vespiquen, or Vespiqueen, however you guys say it, work. So, the Lax from the Space is someone who commented down below and asked me if I can make Vespiquen work. They said, I know this is crazy, but can you make Vespiquen work? Nice video. Nice. So, I immediately saw that comment and I started looking at some cool sets that you could use on this Pokemon. And there were a bunch I came up with that I think actually have some real merit. And then there was this super cool surprise factor set that I think could actually work. So I played a few games and I just tossed Vespiquen on my Zangoose team over Zangoose, and man. So the set is Air Slash, Bug Buzz, Destiny Bond, and Endure. When I was looking at its moveset, I was like, oh cool, it gets Destiny Bond and it gets Endure. And CUSTAP Berry is available. This is pretty cool because you can pick up some surprise KOs from a lot of threats that might think they can just knock out Vespiquen or I'm going to go back and forth, by the way, between Vespiquen and Vespiqueen easily, right? So, you play some Endure, you live every hit, then you get your CUSTAP Berry activates, then you go for the Destiny Bond, and you basically take a KO. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Today's video is sponsored by one of my favorite sites, Squarespace. I use them every day myself for my own site, pokeaimMD.com. It's a great place to grow your business online, create a website, maybe host your domain, or even just get your business to really have that professional look. So, as you can see right here, guys, we are on my website, pokeaimMD.com, and if you haven't gone to my website, I do encourage you to check it out. I think it's really nice. I have my videos there, my team, I have a randomizer, I have a shop, there's an about. You can even see everything about me, but one of my favorite functions about Squarespace is the ability to edit very, very easily. They're very flexible with what you can do, and I can get little ads on my site as well. But yeah, so as you can see right here, we're on my account dashboard for Squarespace. I'm just going to click on the website, and from right here, it's very simple. If I want to edit a page, I click on Pages, and I would click on, in this case, I would click on Teams, because Teams is where I typically edit. So I usually go to, let's say, the OU section. I would click on the one under, I would click on OU, and if I wanted to add an OU team, I'd simply upload the image by scrolling all the way down, or just pressing the plus, and then edit it. As you can see right here, we have Tapu Bulu. It's very, very easy to edit. When you even click on Tapu Bulu itself, it takes you immediately to the PokePaste. So it's an awesome website that is very, very easy to use, very flexible, and it just makes you look more professional in my opinion. So if you guys would actually like to try out Squarespace for free, you can go to squarespace.com. They do have a free trial, but if you actually are ready to launch your own site or domain, go to squarespace.com/pokeaim to save 10% on your first purchase. Again, guys, it's worth it, and I absolutely love them. I've been using them for well over a year now. So yeah, thank you Squarespace for sponsoring the video. So today's video, I'll be showing you me getting Vespiquen to work. If you guys do enjoy this, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. I'm on my way to 300K, and I'll do this with more Pokemon if you guys just want to see this, like little one-off videos. I do have some edited stuff, like I have a Silvally Electric one that is edited. This one is more like, I kind of just want to show you guys some really cool replays. So the first game we have is I think the first game one of the first games I had when I was testing this team. But we have Vespiquen right there. Now it's pretty cool because it could potentially trap Heatran with the Destiny Bond, and by being trapped, I mean I could potentially get rid of it. But we're using Sticky Web, and I noticed that their defoggers are either Crobat or Latios, which I match up decently well versus the team. SD Scissors are so good with Sticky Web up. They do have a Ditto though, so that's something I have to be careful about. But you guys will see that Ditto has to be careful about Vespiquen. So I lead off with my Garchomp because I was really scared about Manaphy, and I decided to hard switch into Gengar on the Ice Beam. I was also pretty scared about opposing Ditto 2, just potentially taking my Shuckle. So I go Gengar here just to get off some Sludge Bomb damage, basically let it die, because if I get damage off on Manaphy, it opens up Scizor a lot more. And this allows me to get out my own Manaphy. I can tank every hit. Even though they do end up winning the speed tie, I think it was worth it than like locking myself in outrage with Garchomp. So we pick up the KO there. They bring out Ditto. Now, I decide to go out into Vespiquen here because I didn't want them going for Surf onto Shuckle, and because they ended up going for the Energy Ball there, I can actually safely double out into my Shuckle. Now, if they do have Taunt, it's fine. They end up going for Magma Storm. Luckily, they don't taunt me. I end up getting Rocks because it's the difference between knocking out certain Pokemon with SD Scizor and not. And the second Magma Storm does connect. It gets me my final gambit. That's awesome because that Heatran is basically almost in range of my Mystic Water boosted Surf, but basically it would help out Scizor a lot. So I go Manaphy, click Surf right there. Not going to bother predicting from this position. I am just going to attack what's in front of me because Scizor is my end game, and potentially Vespiquen can get rid of a Pokemon. So they end up going Latios here. I'm just going to stay in and click Ice Beam. I think they misplay by going for Defog. I think the thought process was, okay, we want to make sure that Crobat can live an Outrage from Garchomp, which I guess is fine, but Crobat's set up fodder for Scizor, so I think them giving me damage was kind of like, I didn't like that play too much. But, I mean, it worked out for me, right? And now I can go out into Garchomp on Choice Scarf. I can just click Dragon Claw. They have no Dragon Claw resist. I didn't see a reason to click Outrage or Predict. Then they go into Tyranitar because Tyranitar can easily live this. I'm going to stay in because if I get damage off on them, even if they're an Ice Beam variant, I can put them in range of my Scizor. And again, I'm basically hoping at this position that Vespiquen is going to take either Crobat or Ditto and allow me to be in a position where Scizor will win. So they go out to Ditto. Now, I know Ditto's always Choice Scarf. I could risk a Speed Tie right here, and if I win it, I'll knock them out. But I'm going to go Vespiquen because I was thinking that if they went for Earthquake, for instance, not for Scizor, I'd be in a good spot. But I do have Fire Blast on this moveset, so they go for the good play, which is Fire Blast. And yeah, so it is a 2-hit KO on my Vespiquen, unfortunately. But we're going to switch back out into Garchomp. If you didn't know, Vespiquen does have the Pressure ability. This set, I was... At this time, I wasn't Pressure. I was Unnerve. But by going for Endure here, and with Sand ending, I actually switch back out the Garchomp. That way Sand will end. It allows me to live a hit. And then I get my CUSTAP Berry. I go for Destiny Bond. They do land the Fire Blast, thankfully. And Vespiquen lets the Ditto go down. They did have one Fire Blast left. So if they landed that, because I was Unnerved, not Pressure in this one, they'd be able to knock out my Scizor after and win the game. But as you can see, they were like, oh, cool set. So now I can go Scizor. Crobat does not have access to Heat Wave right now. I go right for Swords Dance after tanking the Bullet Punch. And I'm offensive Scizor, and I'm going to be able to knock them out with the Bullet Punch right after. And that's going to be a good game. So as you can see right there, Vespiquen saved me. I was basically planning on it always getting rid of either Crobat or Ditto in this case, and I'm glad it worked out. Also, to explain the EV spread, the 20 special defense just lets you guarantee live a Flamethrower from uninvested Clefable after Stealth Rock. So if you want, you could bring it in on Stealth Rock, take the Flamethrower from Clefable. The most you can do is 50%. You'll be at 1 HP at the least, and then you can Destiny Bond them after. And then whereas Air Slash and Bug Buzz just give you some cool little options for like Infernape or Lottie, depending. So that's the first game. The second game right here, we end up playing Trick Room. So Vespiquen right now has potential to get rid of Heatran, Aggron, Azumarill, Mew, whatever. I'm assuming that the Cresselia, Bronzong, and Mew are the Trick Room users. That means that I don't really need to get Sticky Whip in this game, but Rocks are always nice for just wearing down Heatran and whatnot. So I opt to lead off with Gengar because Gengar 6-0s their team. Like, it literally just clicks Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball repeatedly. So I go right for a safe Sludge Bomb on Azumarill. They do end up going Heatran. I do have a switch, though, that is my Garchomp. I opt to go Garchomp over Shuckle because Shuckle could potentially Final Gambit something under the Trick Room, and it's usually going to be slower than every one of their mons. So I go Garchomp there. It turns out they are choice specs. So I double out to Gengar, expecting them to go out to either Cresselia or Bronzong, and I go for a Shadow Ball. I get a very, very lucky crit. I'm not going to deny that was lucky. They were going to live. That crit lucks a lot. They were going to live that crit no matter what. Right? They're going to live it without the crit. But I get the crit. So that also put it in range of SC Scizor. And Scizor was kind of what I was going for as a win here, potentially too. So I ended up going for the Focus Blast and Heatran, luckily connecting. Because they are HP invested, they do end up surviving. But this also opens up Manaphy as well now that Cresselia is gone. So they're going to go right for the Flash Cannon and knock me out. I actually end up getting the Disable on them. So that means I can actually bring out Shuckle now and go for the Stealth Rock. Now, I cannot risk this Azumarill going for Belly Drum, even though it's more likely Bandit. So I went for Final Gambit because if they Belly Drummed, they would have less HP, and I could either put them in range of Bullet Punch or knock them out. But now I can safely go Mew. I know that they're banded based on the damage they did to my physically defensive Shuckle, so I go for a Tail Glow. Or I can safely go Manaphy. They go Mew. I go for Surf now. Mew eats that for breakfast, and I'm gonna throw off another Surf, and this is where the Aggron is coming in, because that Choice Band Aggron, well, not, excuse me, they should have went Aggron first in my opinion, but they end up going Choice Band Azu, which I live because I'm a Manaphy, base 100 across the board. What they should have done was, like I said, to go Aggron first, because at this point my Scizor is going to win. So I decided to keep Manaphy alive because it's faster than Mew and also can do some damage to Bronzong, and I can bring it in on potentially Stealth Rock. Sack my Garchomp right here to the Head Smash. that they end up going for. And I'm going to go Vespiquen, and go right for the Endure. That way I can survive their head smash. Now Trick Room does end, and I mean, I have a choice here because even if they switched, it was fine. I ended up going for my Destiny Bond. My CUSTAP Berry doesn't matter because I'm guaranteed faster. I get rid of Aggron, and at this point, I can win the game with just SD Scizor. So I go Scizor right now. I Swords Dance up. If they did not Earthquake here, if they went for Stealth Rock, and if they didn't crit me either, I just won right off the bat. So they do end up critting me, which means they do 2-hit KO me, but I can safely go Manaphy. Mystic Water boosted Surf is going to knock them out, or is it Water? I don't remember what the hell the item is, but either way, I knocked 2 of them out. So this was, like I said, this was another game where Vespiquen just basically got rid of one of the members, which was sick. And that's basically what it's supposed to do, right? So I think there are a lot of other sets. I do have another game, by the way. But I think there are other sets that this Pokemon can do, and I'll talk a little bit about them when it comes to it. But yeah. Alright, so now we have another game versus some giant threats, right? Crawdaunt is a giant threat. Latios is always a giant threat, but Manaphy tears this type of team up. Manaphy's so good versus a team that I basically have to lead off with either that or Gengar, because if they lead off with Crawdaunt and I lead off with Shuckle, they mess me up. They end up leading off with Scizor. I'm just going to throw off a Surf because, again, end games usually come down to Scizor with this team or Gengar, so any bit of chip on these guys really helps out. So I go right for a Surf. Does absolutely nothing. Like that boy ate as they end up going out into Clefable. This allows me to bring out my Shuckle here on the Thunder Wave, so now I know that they do have Thunder Wave. And what I can do now is bring out my Stealth Rock. I don't think I need Sticky Web too much in this game, but I end up throwing off a Final Gambit here because had they defogged, I would have KO'd the Scizor, which obviously opens up Gengar even more. But now they're in range of my Manaphy. We're going to throw off a Surf right here on the Clefable, and I decided to go hard Garchomp because I didn't want anything to get Thunder Wave. They make a nice play and go for Moonblast here, but then they make a really aggressive play that I think is going to hurt them. I go for Earthquake because all I need is damage. As they go for Flamethrower, predicting my Scizor, and at this point I could potentially knock out the Clefable. I instead decide to double out into Manaphy, just based on the way my opponent played that turn, like the way they made that aggressive play. Like I know that they're going to switch this turn. It just, the logic behind it I thought made sense. So I go Manaphy because it's essentially going to get a kill with Surf. As they end up going for Protect with their Gliscor. I go for Ice Beam here, but that's fine. I mean, I can go for Surf in the following turn if I want to, or another Ice Beam. It doesn't matter. At this point, I actually threw off a Surf just because it hit things hard. Well, Ice Beam was fine, but Rotom comes out. If they're Choice Scarf, Volts, which doesn't kill me, and if I get the damage on them, if they're not Choice Scarf, that's going to help out Scizor. So they end up going for Hydro Pump, predicting me to want to go out to Garchomp. And this is like a situation where I'm just going for my best moves possible, or what I think is my best move to open up my Scizor, right? Because like SD Scizor look hella good here. But they bring out Latios, a demon. Yes, it is. And they can safely go for basically a Psychic here. I opt to throw out my Garchomp. Now, I wanted to save Manaphy because Manaphy always lives Aqua Jet from Crawdaunt. And in hindsight, maybe sacking Gengar was a little bit better here because it means that I don't risk a Speed Tie versus Latios. But I also want a Vespiquen to work, and you know, most of these games were me trying to get the Pokemon to work. So we're gonna bring out Scizor here because it gives me a free SD as they go Gliscor. And I'm gonna be completely real. I thought that +4 Scizor would always knock out Gliscor. Like I didn't know they're gonna be max physical defense because I go for Swords Dance, right? I thought it was game, but I go for Swords Dance. I easily live an Earthquake right here, and I go for Bullet Punch, and that boy chews like it was breakfast. Like it acts for seconds. Like that's how crazy it ate that hit. So I go for Quick Attack just in case they switch out into Crawdaunt there. It didn't matter what they did. It basically knocked out everything. And now I regret sacking. Now I regret sacking my Garchomp, right? Because Outrage would have cleaned up. But they bring out the other demon, which I completely agree with their nicknames. And I have a choice. I could sack Vespiquen here, but they're going to go for Knockoff. And if they go for Knockoff, I won't get my CUSTAP Berry. Or I can sack Gengar, then go Manaphy, threaten this guy out with the Energy Ball, but also they can't risk Latios because I could Ice Beam, and then try and use my Destiny Bond to help me out. So I do decide on the Gengar sacking play to get the Vespiquen route going. Also, they could have gotten Cursed Body there too. But we bring out Manaphy now. Just going to go off a nice and safe Energy Ball as they sack Rotom, because at this point they think that they win, because all they got to do is go Latios and click Psychic, 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 right? They don't have to risk Draco Meteor missing or anything. But I'm going to bring out my Vespiquen. I'm going to bring out the Queen. I'm going to bring out Vespiquen. take that hit. It puts me right into CUSTAP berry range. Go for that Destiny Bomb because of the CUSTAP berry. And now I know their whole life. Just like, look what the dude typed. Look what the dude typed. He just put no. He just put no. This dude thought they had the win, but the queen came to play. My Manaphy eats Aqua Jet. I'm going to be able to knock them out with the energy ball, and that's game. So, guys, you got to see 3 games where the queen helped me out, and I hope the lax from the space, I really hope you like this. It was really fun to just like play some random games by tossing them on the team. Other sets that I think work for this Pokemon, though, again, I don't think I'll make a moveset, but I think Sub Roost with Toxic, because very few Pokemon have Toxic at the moment, so I think Sub Roost Toxic with Pressure, and legitimately U-Turn can work with like pairing it with a Magnezone or other things, because you get beyond a sub, and then they go out to something that's, if it's not Heatran, or if it is Scizor, you can always U-Turn on it, and then Magnezone can trap it and go for Specs Thunderbolt and do 1,000,000 damage. But if it's like something like that's not that, or Gliscor, you can Toxic things. U-Turn gives me momentum. I think this set that I use with Air Slash, Bug Buzz, Destiny Bond, Endure has a lot of surprise factor, but I mean, it works, right? Then once it's out there, it doesn't work again. But also, I think that something cheeky with Attack Order, Defend Order, Roost, and Toxic could also potentially work as well when paired with a Magnezone. But those are just my thoughts on Vespiquen. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you subscribe. On my way to 300K. And let me know if you guys want to see more stuff like this, more little highlights of Pokemon. I have one with Silvally Electric that's already all edited and everything, and actually has some like little sound effects and little things coming in. But yeah, appreciate you guys all watching. And I will see you guys next time. That's it. Peace.